Media's weekly gaming discussion podcast. I am your host, Kevin, and on today's Nintendo is attacking your physical games, and PlayStation has shut down another studio. Before we get to that and more, got to introduce my co-host hanging out with me for this special episode. Sam Heaney we've tossed him away. All right, he's gone for a few weeks. I've called in some reinforcements. Sean Capri from Carpool Gaming, my good friend. How are you?
I'm taking your spot, Sam. I'm here for good. My first and forever episode. Yeah.
He did write into our Patreon topic submission asking, why is Sean such a better co-host than me, and what can I do to be improved?
So, oh man, I don't know about that. I'm just joshing around.
Well, how are you? You haven't not been on this particular show. You were on my previous podcast, Project X Talk, which is, RIP in peace. But this is a shared save. You are actually the first guest co-host of this podcast. So, in case we have people that weren't there for Project X Talk, want to give a little plug for all your stuff, Sean?
Oh, yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, if you still need an Xbox show, we still do one over at the Xbox Drive. I'm on there every single week, as well as the Nintendo Drive. These used to be recorded in a car. That was a couple of years ago at this stage, but it's, just over at carpoolgaming.com. We got our very own .com, Kev, and yeah, excited to be here, man. Thanks for asking me to be on. I'm glad we could work this out.
Yeah. When Sam said he was taking 2 weeks off, I was like, I know exactly who the two people I want to ask are. All right. And I was like, I'm going to ask Sean first, because I think his schedule is probably a little less open than the other person, who you'll see next week.
I was going to say, I don't know who the other person is. Yeah, I also got to say, I shouldn't even be here right now.
Why is that?
I just got some stuff, got some kids upstairs, and my wife, maybe you could use a hand, but here we are. Let's talk video games.
Yes, let's talk video games. Let's get into it. So this is Shared Save. We are live every Thursday right here on youtube.com/SaveTheGameMedia. If you can't catch us live, we post every Sunday on your favorite audio platform of choice. While you're over there, please drop us a review. It does help us immensely. If you want to support us even further, get early audio access to this show and exclusive bonus shows, head over to patreon.com/SaveTheGameMedia. Choose a tier that's right for you, like our current supporters. So thank you to Sam Hall, Alpaca Tom, Rick Davis, Silkenit, Dave Harp, David Hotright, Lillian, Marcus O'Neill, Nikolai at Night, Fabulous Brianna, Brandon, Black Wyver, David Burdett, Dinglebomb, and Savoy Prime. Thank you all for your support. Let's start the show like we do each and every week. Sean, I want to know, what games have you been playing?
Ooh, well, you might be the first. I think this is the first time that I'm talking about this on a podcast, but I've rolled credits on 2010's Fallout New Vegas. I just spent a good 40, maybe 50 hours in the Mojave Wasteland, and it's been a good time, my friend. That's been most of what I've been up to lately.
Yeah, I've been tuning into some of your streams when I can. Sometimes when I'm home, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch Sean. But when I have to go to the office, I'm like, I can't really have like a Twitch stream off. I might get a little side eye here from that. But
I get it. Yeah,
I've never played it.
You've never played? Have you played any Fallout games? You played Fallout 3, Fallout 4?
I've never. I've tried Fallout 4, and I didn't like the VAT system where it slows down.
Oh, I love it.
I just couldn't get into it, and I never went back. I'm much more of a Elder Scrolls. Like, I love the Elder Scrolls series. Starfield, I know, which you haven't jumped into.
They're not done it yet. They're almost done. They've almost finished the game. We can play it soon. On
my birthday, you can play it April 7th when it launches for other platforms. But no, I haven't jumped into New Vegas. Maybe they'll do a remaster, and maybe I'll play. I own it on everything. I'm just gonna be. I own
all of us do.
Everywhere.
We've all accidentally purchased it at one point. I feel like it was like that U2 album that showed up on our phones, and everybody got mad. Remember that back in the? This is a long time ago. But I like the VAT system, man. It seems to be a little divisive out there, but it calls for that old school slow-mo ridiculous critical hit. You just remove a limb here or there, explode a head off of a body. The game is funny because I don't know how you would describe it to somebody in terms of like its tone. It's post-apocalyptic, which sounds terrible, and you go on these missions that are all very serious, but it's very irreverent, I guess is maybe the word for it. Like it's very silly, but
Mm,
also very serious, and it's
mhm.
a very interesting kind of mix and concoction. I will say to your point about the remaster, if it does happen, you're welcome. This was all Carpool Gaming. A bunch of us have been playing it. Ryan beat it in like 2 days, which is insane. I
Mhm.
finally have completed it now. I think Garrett was talking about jumping into it as well over there on the RPG Cave. So if this does happen, yes, this is thanks to Carpool Gaming. We identified, a few of us identified it as like being on our bucket list, which I love is just a general topic. Like, what are the games you have to play or maybe even beat before you kick the bucket? And this
Mhm.
was this was certainly on my bucket list. It was on Ryan's as well. So I've had a good time with it, my friend.
Yeah, I really should give it a shot, especially
You're
because
gonna hate it.
I'm gonna hate
You don't need to.
it. I was gonna say I should give it a shot because I do own it everywhere, and I do like Obsidian games, and like obviously they're the ones that like took this from Bethesda and made this version. But like I don't know, something about the post-apocalyptic. I feel like I have to be in a very particular mood for that kind of setting, right? Like
Mm.
otherwise it's just like, everything's destroyed. Look, I'm gonna walk in the desert for 9 years.
Yeah, I mean, I can't be here to change your mind. There is something really weird. This game had a strange hold on me because first of all, like it is Bethesda and it's from 2010. I was playing on current PC hardware.
Hmm.
Kev, like this thing ran like ass. Like
Oh
it
no.
it crashed all the time and it was like it would I don't know. I was almost able to count frames by hand. I was almost like 1, 2, 3. Like I was almost able to. It was so low in some cases for no real good reason. Just that good old Bethesda jank, and yet still I didn't really want to be done with it. Like I rolled credits. I finished the main quest line mainly just to move on. But there
Mm,
was something very strange about just wanting to wander around and do all these strange quests. And I was playing a particularly chaotic kind of character, just
hmm.
with no loyalty really to anyone, which is I like that as far as
That's
role playing games go. Like I'm not very much of a good guy at all. I would
ah,
do the side quest to get the money and the XP out of it, and then I'd shoot them, just to clear out
y-
that line of thinking. I guess I don't know, dude.
you're describing how I play the Outer Worlds. I
100%.
am a
Yes.
horrible human being in the outer worlds. My companions are like, "How could you do that?" I'm like, "Listen, shut your mouth, go back to the ship,
Hmm.
wait for me there."
So it's funny you bring that up too. Obviously, Obsidian is the common thread here with New Vegas. And yeah, a lot of different like freedoms allowed as far as like how you approach this kind of thing. And Outer Worlds I like, and for whatever reason, opposite of what you were just saying, I prefer the Wasteland. I prefer the Capital
Mm,
Wasteland and Fallout 3. And there's just something about Outer Worlds that I haven't really gotten into. Maybe I
it's
just need to
space,
spend.
Sean. It's
I know
space.
this is very strange for me. It should be a Sean game, just like Starfield. This is very, very interesting. Mass Effect, I'm more on the Mass Effect
Hmm.
side of things.
Well, yeah, of
So,
course. Yeah, yeah,
and I don't know. I don't know exactly what that is. I guess Mass Effect is more of that space opera kind of thing, more sci-fi, like more like Star Trek kind of sci-fi kind of deal. But there's also maybe a concept when it comes to role-playing games, and everybody hates this, but it's like I think you do have to reach a critical mass of hours in the world for you really to kind of forgive its shortcomings or just really fall in love with it. It's the just spend 20 hours in
yeah.
there
Hmm.
and then you'll really like it. I know we don't like saying that, but I think there's something to it, dude. Like there's something about just getting entrenched in the world because I could spend the next 45 minutes talking to you about all the major crippling problems with Fallout New Vegas. But I
Hmm.
don't want to because I like the game. Like there's a lot of forgivings that I have for it because I like a lot of it, but there's other issues that are serious, major problems. I would quit other games very quickly if they existed in other games, which I also think is an interesting concept to explore.
No, I think you bring up a good point, and I actually I think that I couldn't put it into words, but I think that describes how I feel about like when I'm thinking, oh, should I play this RPG? I'm like, well, I have to like at least commit this many hours to just get into the lore and like learn like because when you play Mass Effect, I'm opening the codex, right? Like, and I don't do this for every game, but I want to know like you're telling me this race doesn't like this race. They have beef in the pet. Like
They got beef.
Yeah,
they got beef.
they
Dude,
got beef.
That's the shortcut. That is the shortcut for almost any story-based games. Like, where's the beef? Tell me about
like
the beef.
who? Yeah, who doesn't like who? I need to know. And then I'm more engaged when I know there's like political conflict behind the scenes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, Fallout New Vegas, awesome. You been playing anything else?
What else have I been playing? I just I spun the wheel to see how I
Yes.
feel, and I have a new obsession, dude. I'm not playing anything new. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know if this is becoming my personality or whatnot, but yeah, 2010's Fallout New Vegas, followed up by I don't even know 2013's BioShock Infinite. When the hell did that game come out? Somewhere around there, 2012 maybe.
I was gonna say 2011, so I'm probably wrong, but
No, you're probably right. It's probably somewhere in there. But anyway, it's BioShock Infinite. I'm playing on PC. It's like the complete edition, and it's gorgeous, dude. I'm playing in 4K on my OLED monitor, dude. It's absolutely stunning. And I didn't say this in the pre-show because I got here with 30 seconds before we went live. I was playing up until the very moment I got here. It's still running in the background right now. I couldn't find look, major issue with games. I want a save button.
Yes.
Give me a save button. None of this auto save. I guess I hope that it's saved or something like that, because I would have closed it, but my last save, I guess, was like 15 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's no good.
I've
done a lot of stuff in that 15 minutes.
Don't trust autosave. Can't do it. I need a save point, and I will specifically like. When the game,
I'll take typewriters over this.
the thing like on consoles, it's not that big of a deal because I'll just put it into rest mode, right? And then you just put it back. But like PC, I'm not gonna leave my PC on like a game run, you know?
It's running right now. It's running right, and depending on how maybe the Xbox showcase thing is a little boring. Maybe I just get to a safe spot while you yammer on about something. You know, maybe we do. It's a little trickier to do with just two people on a podcast. I will say.
Yeah. No one's eating popcorn on this show. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. BioShock, also a series I've never played.
Okay, I was hesitant to recommend because Fallout is a particular taste. There's a lot of things to overcome. You must stop everything you're doing.
I know. I have, again, I'm pretty sure I own them on almost every platform.
Oh my god, dude! I mean, they're all very. Don't let people tell you the BioShock 2 isn't good. BioShock 2 is very good. I almost might recommend you start with Infinite, actually.
My brother is a huge BioShock fan, so I've heard.
Get your brother on the show. Where is he? Where's he at?
I've heard for years how good the series is. Again, it's one of those things like, oh, I'm gonna have to learn the lore.
No, you don't. And that's the thing. It's an interesting game to come into right after Fallout New Vegas because of how it's super linear. You know, you can rummage through garbage cans and cabinets and stuff to try and find new health and money and stuff, and that's about it. You don't have to worry about like inventory management. It's pretty straightforward. And as I was mentioning, I was just playing. So just earlier today, I got through like one of those old school, what is now old school, 15 years ago, one of those like retro set pieces, right? Like, because in Infinite, there's these rails in the sky and you can kind of like jump onto them and you ride around and stuff. And it's very thrilling. And then when you're doing that, sometimes there's these set pieces, like big explosions are happening and the music is going. And I'm like, this game is getting me, dude. Like I'm in it, and I miss that. I don't know when the last time like I've played something like that. Almost like the first level in Modern Warfare. Does this like come to mind very quickly for you on that boat? They're on that ship. You're going on there, and you have to be really quick. And as you're leaving, like some explosion happens, and the boat is kind of like turning on its side, and you're trying to get out of there, dude. I remember playing that going like, what is that? I can't believe this is happening. I was playing my 57-inch projection screen HD TV, those things were like 3 feet deep. Oh man, those were the days. So I was kind of reliving those a little bit, just playing BioShock Infinite. I couldn't believe it. This game is so high quality. We've forgotten. We've lost our way. Sometimes when I play these older games, it's like, what are we even doing? Bring back Arkham City. Let's bring me back. Bring me back.
I've been saying bring back that style of game for a while now. Like, just give me the PS3 360 era game. Like, that's all we need. That's all we need, really. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying some older games because I also have been playing mainly older games.
Hell yeah.
I've only played, I think. Well, no, I've played, I think 3 or 4 games that have come out this year, but I haven't paid for it. They were like reviews, right? So in terms of like things that I'm intentionally like going, like I'm diving into my backlog this year.
Yes.
So I beat Metal Eden, which is a game I told you about, and I called it a boomer shooter because I thought boomer shooter just meant you can't aim down sights. I don't know if that's. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it means something
I
different
beat
to
that.
everybody.
Story is nonsensical. It's like you're a clone of some AI put into a robot. You're killing other robots. I don't know. It was visually cool and fun to play. So if you're looking for just a mindless shooter, I recommend that.
Yep.
I beat God of War 2. Are you?
Oh snap! That's on my list. That's on my list.
Okay.
Wait, God of War 2, like
God of War 2, the PS2 God of War 2.
Okay,
So I played
nice.
So I've been going through the God of War HD remastered.
Great.
Did you play the original God of War trilogy?
Not originally, but when they did like the remasters, like the
Okay.
like what I think is like the first remasters of remasters, like the way the God of War did it on PS3, good stuff.
Okay, so those are the ones I've been playing. And I didn't like God of War 1 and I didn't like God of War 2.
Dude, you're like the same.
I actually thought God of War 2 was worse. I was like, there's no story to this game at all. Like I thought him going in spoilers for a 20-something-year-old game or whatever, but like I thought him going back in time was going to be like the first hour, and then it's like the whole game you're trying to get back in time, and it's like, oh man, I can't with this. So I beat that, and then I went and played God of War 3, and I beat that today.
Oh yeah, how'd you think of 3?
That game's awesome.
Oh, okay, interesting.
God of War 3 is such a like monumental leap, not only like visually, but like the story is way better. There's no annoying puzzles. I think this is what I imagined when people were like, oh, the God of War trilogy is so good. Like I thought it'd be more like this. Like there's some cinematic stuff in here too. I hear describe like a boss fight, and then all of a sudden you just have like a cut scene going on, and Kratos is like cutting people's limbs off. I'm like, yes, like I love this. So I'm good with God of War 3, but I'm also like, I'm done with God of War.
I was gonna say that's a lot of God of War, man. Like that's pretty. Was it? I can't remember, and people are making fun of me already. As I'm playing BioShock Infinite, I barely remember any of it. This may as well be my first playthrough. I remember so little. The first 2 God of Wars, did they also not have like larger than life bosses? You got to like climb up and stab a guy in the eyeball. Like was that always the case, or was that just 3?
They have big bosses that do have like you hit circle after you do a certain amount of damage.
Yeah, quick time.
And then you will like go on them a lot of the time, and you'll have like a little quick time. But like God of War 3 makes it way more cinematic.
Sure.
Like more God of War, what it would become with 2018 Ragnarok, where you have like basically cutscenes, not just like in-game assets of you pounding on an in-game model.
Pounding on something.
Yeah. Well, certainly at a certain point in those games you are.
Yep.
Yeah. So. God of War 3.
Shout out God of War. Why are you on this train? I've missed this. What's going on with these old games, man?
So we got the announcement of the God of War trilogy remakes, right? And I'm like, I've never played them.
And so you took that as like, it's coming soon. So you instantly went God of War 1, 2, 3.
No, actually the opposite is they're not coming for a while. And like they've been rumored for years. So in my mind, I was like, okay, those will probably be coming. And then they just never came. It's kind of like the Gears of War collection, right? That we were told is coming 4 years ago.
That's why I played Vegas. That's why I played New Vegas.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, I might as well just play them, and then when the remakes come out in 2030 or whatever, I'll be able to actually know like how improved they are. And right now I'm sitting here like I have a lot to fix with these first two. They can improve these games a lot.
Kev, you mentioned games coming out in 2030. I just want to run this by you. A thought that I've had about like these games that are like, we're talking about like the next generation of consoles and when is that going to come out? And these things are so far in the future. I have to admit, man, I'm starting to think about like, I need to maintain good health so that I'm around for these games that I'm excited about. Like I still want to be alive by the time these things come out. They're so far in the future. I got to make sure like you're hydrating there. You got like a gallon of water there in your hand. Pretty good stuff. Like we got to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, I actually have that thought quite often where I'm like, part of the reason I go to the gym is like to be healthy, to try to lose some weight. The other part is like there's so many games coming, and also like just don't want to die. Like it's mainly like I just want to be here to do hobbies longer as opposed to or eat more food. That is also the work out. That's and then you go eat more food. Yeah.
So I was just thinking about that. These games are 2030. Goodness gracious. every day's a gift. You know what I mean? We gotta stick around.
Especially in the U.S. here.
Oh, jeez, gee whiz.
Listen, our healthcare
Come on
system.
up here. Get on up here.
We get sick. It might be curtains.
No, there you go.
Lort is another game. The last game I've been playing. You've probably never heard of this.
No.
I wouldn't quite call this friend slop. It is a multiplayer, like I think it's up to 8 players. It's a Steam game. You basically each go in, you choose a class like warrior, mage, rogue or whatever, and then you go through like 5 levels collecting loot, and then you fight a boss at the end. It's a very simplistic roguelite. But my friends are doing this thing where they're like, hey, we found this game, we're gonna buy it for you, and then you're gonna play it with us. I'm like, all right, guys. I don't like roguelites, but it's fine. It's fun. It's one of those things.
Doesn't that feel uncomfortable though? Like, just don't buy me something. Don't do that to me.
Well, I'm always appreciative. Like, okay, thank you for I will play this with you, but can we find games that aren't roguelites? That's my main request. Like, can we find, like, we just played RV There Yet. That was a fun time. That wasn't a roguelite. That was friend slot though, so that's not it. You don't want to play that.
No, I don't. No.
We played the whole game, and then at the end we learned you can like nail down boards to like make the game easier and like get across stuff. And we were just like lining it up and like, all right, I hope you stay on the track.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible time to me. But a lot of people are playing it, so what do I know? I'm way on the outside on this one.
I said Lort. I will.
Lort.
Here, I'll put it in the chat, Seth. Lort. It's on Steam early access. So if you want to play, we got slots, because who has 8 friends? You know what I'm saying? Most games these days are like you got 2 more friends, then you're done.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right. You want to get into the Xbox partner preview? That's what it's called.
Yes. No, it was called the Xbox Let's Look to 2027 on consoles that aren't Xbox showcase.
Well, okay. So Xbox. No, I'm going to throw it to you, because Xbox did hold their partner preview showcase today. I have watched it. I know for a fact you watched it, because I also watched it along with you. What are your overall thoughts? We are going to go game by game and give some highlights and impressions or whatever, but what are your general thoughts coming off of the show? Did you like it? Did you not?
Yeah, so I'm gonna steal directly from Ryan Turford of the RPG Cave, previously of the Xbox Drive. Ryan has this great saying, I think applies here. It was fine and fun. Fine. I don't think that this is anything that I'm like screaming about. It's not like I ran across the street and knocked on my neighbor's door and went like, did you see the Xbox partner showcase today? Like, but at the same time, I'm not doing that in a bad way either. Like, what an atrocity. Like, I think there was a collection of games that were very interesting that I think would be really fun to play, but no like blockbuster big deal things. So I'm kind of in the middle, which when you're commenting on the internet is very dangerous place to, you either love it or it's the worst thing in the world. And I'm sorry to say I'm neither. There's a bunch of games I thought looked really cool. There's a bunch of stuff coming to Game Pass. I'm disappointed in how much of it was 2027 and maybe even beyond. And I'm also just miffed on like why you need to advertise these games are coming out on Switch or Epic Game Store or the PS5. I don't get that from a marketing perspective, but that's aside from what games are actually shown.
Yeah, I noted you mentioned that during your live react, which is something Xbox has been doing for a year plus now at this point, right? Like telling you where you can play all of their games, even if it's not on Xbox, which
I get that for the games that they're selling. I want to make sure I'm clear on that too. Like for if it's Xbox Game Studios that are going to be available on other platforms, go nuts, because you've already like opened up to be multi-platform. But these are like, I don't know, like they have no interest in selling someone else's game on someone else's platform. Like that's the thing that miffed me about it.
Interesting. Okay, because that's actually a good differentiate.
Oh yeah, you're closer.
The word I'm saying. Yeah, the word. You know the word I'm saying. I do think that is a good qualifier. There, easier word to say. Yeah. Because in my mind it was like, well, what's the difference? But this is a third-party showcase, and they're basically saying, hey, you don't have to buy any of these on our platform. But we paid for Game Pass. We paid for Play Anywhere. We put on the showcase, so assuming you have some sort of marketing like price that you paid for them. But also, if you want to go buy them Switch, PlayStation, anywhere that isn't us, you would never see other platform holders doing that.
No kidding.
They say, hey, it's available on our platform. We prefer you to buy it here because then we get money.
I just have a feeling like, maybe Xbox is watching and or listening to this, and I feel like maybe one of them is going like, "Oh crap, he's got a point." Like, what are you thinking? What is the? I would love to know what backdoor deal. Like, Why do that? Why have the logos? Like, go play this on Epic Game Store. That is ridiculous.
I don't know why they do that. Obviously, I think it's a leftover thing from their "This is an Xbox" initiative.
Maybe,
But
yeah. That's about as close as I can
if
get too.
if that's the initiative they just killed, do
Yeah.
we see them return? I saw some people, and this is definitely copium, but they were like, "This is clearly a leftover from the Sarah and Phil era." I'm like, guys, they wouldn't have put this out. Like they could edit it and put
I
like,
know they I'm just not done it. Maybe, who knows? But I mean, this is all sort of like meta stuff, but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
way outside of what the games that were actually shown. I like I said, for the most part, I think was pretty good and quite a bit coming to Game Pass and yeah, good highlights and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. We can break them down maybe one by one or however you want
yeah,
to
yeah,
tackle
yeah.
them, man.
We're
This is
we're
your
gonna go
damn
through
show.
them. I thought the show. I'm very much with you. I thought the show was good. Nothing amazing, spectacular. Certainly, I've seen some reaction being like it was bad, and
I saw that too.
I don't personally feel that way. I know I saw some shorts like, oh, it was
I
awful. I'm
saw
like,
that same
I think
short.
you went into with way too high expectations for a partner preview that like I don't really feel like a Nintendo Indie World or whatever their partner show like. Would you go
Mm,
into that with the same expectations? Because I think this was probably actually a better show than the Nintendo partner one that they put on like a few weeks ago, where it was
yep.
mostly just, hey, all our ports are coming to Nintendo, which is cool. Like exciting for fans that only play on Switch. I'm never gonna knock that. I had a good time watching that show, but I'm sitting here, I'm like, these are new game announcements, Game Pass announcements, like things I can get excited for, and not every game's for me, but I never expect most like I don't go
Yeah.
into a showcase being like every game has to be for me.
Yeah, I'm the same way, and you bring up something that could be a fun sort of comparison. Put a PlayStation, the latest PlayStation showcase, up against the Nintendo showcase, up against this one. I think the last PlayStation one was excellent, and maybe
Yeah, it
that's where
was.
some of the
It was.
commentaries, like the last PlayStation one, was very, very good. They had the little mini Konami Direct kind of in
Mm-hmm.
there, which was I would say a risky move because it's so unusual, but it landed, and people seem
Yeah.
to really enjoy that. So. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, this just didn't have anything like massive. It wasn't like a big gigantic win for
Mm-hmm.
Game Pass like overall. So like yeah, that kind of has me somewhat lukewarm, which is it's a fine place to be.
Yes. Well, let's go through the actual show and see if any games are piquing our interest here. We start off with Hunter the Reckoning Death Wish. This is a vampire hunting game. This was actually an original like IP from the OG Xbox days. Not for sure if anyone
I
out there is
guess.
familiar with it, but yeah, Hunter the Reckoning was over on I think it was GameCube, PS2, Xbox. This is coming to Xbox, Xbox PC, Cloud, and PS5 summer 2027. I put 5, it's 7. Crazy that they
Yeah, it
would
set the
announce
tone.
this game so far out. At first I thought it was 2026, and then I looked down like, oh, okay, this is a. Do you remember last year we got Halloween the game announced, and it was like coming September 2026. I'm like, that's like 18 months away. What are we
I
doing?
know. What are we doing? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The game looked cool. I didn't realize that it was like a original IP from 20 some odd years ago. But that's cool. Yeah, vampire and werewolves, I think. We're
Mm-hmm.
just sharp teeth everywhere, man.
Yeah.
So I will wait. I think this looks cool, but I'll be waiting and playing 1,000 games between now and then.
Yeah, again, it's going to be a trend throughout our little write up here, but it's like, why now? We could have had this in March of next year.
I think, well, it gives a good example of, I think, why maybe a lot of us are walking away from this with the feeling that we are, which is these games are a long ways away and we can wait. When you say, like, I can't wait for that. And it's like, we can. I'm fine.
Yeah.
We'll be fine between now and then.
I, in fact, have no need to get closer to this game.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm great.
Wuthering Waves is coming to Xbox in July. If you're into those free to play gotcha games, which neither of us are, this is
No,
not for me.
I kind of wish I was. I wish I had a little extra time and an energy and stuff like that for these kinds of games, but because everyone's hot. So, and the games are gorgeous and the music is awesome and
Mhm.
very addictive gameplay. Like I'm not against this at all. It's just, I get drawn to other things, I suppose.
You can spend a few $1,000s trying to get one character in these kind
Well,
of
you
games.
got
So.
Game Pass perks, man. I don't know exactly what, but I think that's gonna maybe save you a buck or two in these
Yeah,
games.
it's usually if it's anything like what they do with Genshin and stuff. I know they gave you some like currency to spend to try
Sure,
to get you to
we love
come over.
currency.
The next announcement is probably my announcement of, well, it's not a new game, but it's like my gameplay trailer of the show, and that's The Expanse: Osiris Reborn, coming summer 2027. This is Xbox Play Anywhere and Xbox Game Pass. So this has been announced, but I swear to God, I've never seen gameplay before.
I'm with you.
Right
Yes.
now, because
Yes.
I watched it and I was like, has this always been a Mass Effect game? Like, I was genuinely stunned seeing that. Is it a AAA Mass Effect game? No, clearly like AA, smaller, but everything. Like they had the special moves with the bumpers down at the bottom under the helmet. I'm like, everything about that. They took the Mass Effect UI and put it in this game, and I'm here for it. I don't know what the Expanse is, but I like Mass Effect. So
yeah, man. A couple things on this. Number one, this game speaks to a theme throughout, which is I think the titles we're running out of words. Okay, we're running out of game titles because a lot of these game titles are just word soup. You got vampire hunting. What is it called? Vampire Hunter, the Reckoning, Death Wish. It just keeps going on, just word after word after word. The Expanse: Osiris Reborn. These are just like, what does this even mean? We'll get into some of these others. I just wanted to plant that seed because now the next time you announce another game that we saw today, you're gonna be like, yeah, that title sucks too. So there's that. The other thing I want to say about this one is looping it back to our previous conversation where we're like, take us back to 2010, 2011, 2013. Kind of this. Maybe a little bit, and I'm here for it. Like, it looks good.
It does look good. I saw a lot of things that even like I saw romance options in there, which I know is something like the Outer Worlds made a big point. Like, hey, you can't romance your companions, and I'm like, I like to romance my companions. Like,
yes, please.
I would prefer that in the game, actually. Thank you. But lots of dialogue options. It had the cover-based shooting of a Mass Effect. It even had the mash X to open doors with your teammate prompts. So like they clearly know what their inspiration is, and I love it.
Yeah, we're now here. That's how long it's been. Is like these are coming like back in vogue. We got tired of them, we missed them, and now they're coming back because it's been a minute, Kevin.
Well, I sent this trailer to my friend who is also a big Mass Effect fan. I was like, look at this gameplay. I'm like, I know we have Exodus coming at the start of 2027, which is also basically Mass Effect, but like we're going to have 2 Mass Effect games next year before the actual Mass Effect comes
5,
out, whenever that is in 2030 at this point.
It's about time. Thank God.
All right. Grave Seasons, coming August 14th to all platforms, Xbox Play Anywhere and Game Pass. This is what I gathered, a cozy farming sim, but also a serial killer murder mystery.
Yes. Yep. One of my favorite trailers of the day, actually, just because it subverts that expectation. If you knew what this game was, then there's no surprise for you, obviously. But yeah, it looks like any other the kind of Stardew Valley, like, you know, the art style and everything is cozy and everything's great. And all of a sudden there's murder. I am here for it, man. I love when we get that nice little like twist. In a trailer, of course, but then in the gameplay as well. Like let's mix this up a little bit. How many times can you harvest the moon? You know what I mean? Like how many? We have enough of these. Let's mix this up a little bit with a little murder, a little mystery, maybe.
I immediately became more interested when like the villagers started getting murdered and like blood was smearing all over the ground. I'm like,
it's the last thing you expect from a game like this.
Yeah, because when I saw it, I was like, okay, like we have 1,000 of these. I think they just announced a Japanese one is coming, like NIS America's publishing one. I was like, I didn't even know this. Like, there's just too many to keep up with at this point. And I understand cozy gamers. If you're into it, more power to you. It's not my genre, but like immediately became more interested. I'm like, I like serial killers. Phrasing. I like serial killers.
Well, now we can pull some carrots out of the ground and kill your neighbor, I guess.
Serious Sam Shatterverse, coming 2026. No release date. It's Xbox Play Anywhere. It's a 5-player co-op roguelite shooter. I've never played Serious Sam, and I gotta be honest, the dialogue immediately made me never want to play Serious Sam. I'll say these characters are annoying. I don't think the game, I don't know if it was the stream, but like it didn't seem to be running very well most of the time. So I not for me, but cool if you like Serious Sam. I don't have you played Serious Sam?
This is an IP that totally confuses me. Like, how is it still around? Like, what is going? Who's buying Serious Sam? Like, we get all these games and we get like one Metroid every 20 years. Like, how is this happening?
It is primarily developed by Crow Team. I've never heard of this developer. I just Googled this. There are a lot of these games.
I know.
Yeah, there's 6 mainline games, and then there are 2, 5. It's like 10 spin-offs.
It's crazy.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
all right,
not necessary.
There's that to look forward to for people.
But I will say a game like that where it's just nonsense, like where I really don't care what's going on, but I can play with 4 of my friends for a 5-player co-op kind of deal. I'm kind of here for that.
I didn't write this one was Xbox Game Pass. I don't know if it is. I know it's Play Anywhere. This one
That
might
is
be
the only way I'm playing it.
Yeah,
by the way,
I was gonna say. I think they might have missed something here if they didn't get that Game Pass bag.
Yeah.
Stranger Than Heaven. We got a new trailer for Ryoga Gotoku's new IP. It's basically Yakuza, but not Yakuza. They promised 5 eras, 5 cities. And despite being the headline game for this showcase, their trailer just said, hey, we got a deep dive coming May 6th. Come back for that. It's coming to all platforms and Game Pass.
So weird. It's so weird. It looks cool though. I don't want to get into the marketing of it because again, I think that's off to the side there. But I think this game looks really cool. I think there's maybe something about Yakuza having so many games that people don't really know where to get into, and maybe this is a nice safe place for you to kind of check out that style of game without having to worry about missing out on anything else. So that's kind of my take on it. Was this must be just for like newcomers.
Yeah, I think you're right, because it's like kind of like Trails where there's 13 entries, and it's like, okay, where can I start? I do have to start at the beginning to understand, and a lot of the time you do. I'm kind of slowly. I think Yakuza actually is a little more friendly. Like I jumped in at 7, and I've played 7, 8, and then I
100%.
started going backwards. But like even now, like I've played 0, 1, and 2, and I'm like, I need a break. There's like so much to Yakuza games. So like 3, I know just got a remake. I'm like, I will get that when it's $5 or something, right? But this has all that Yakuza stylings. I think it might be a little more graphic. It looks a little more mature. Like
there's a good stab in the back there.
Yeah, a little more violent. Clearly the same engine, but I've seen some people speculating this is actually like a prequel to Yakuza, and it's gonna like tie in at the end, which I kind of hope they don't do. Like, let this be its own thing.
Agreed. Yep, that's the whole point.
Yeah. Super Meat Boy 3D got a release date March 31st. It's coming to Xbox Play Anywhere, Xbox Game Pass, and all the other platforms. Are you a Super Meat Boy fan, Sean?
I will play this because it's on Game Pass. I have played the original. I want to say I was playing it on my Vita.
Probably
a million years ago. Yeah, I like Super Meat Boy. It'll be interesting to see what people think about it in 2026. Like it seemed like innovative and cool and everything back in the day. In 3, like it's sort of 3D in the way like 3D Mario 3D World is 3D, which I'm a fan of actually. I'd rather this style of 3D than a more like a mascot kind of like Galaxy or Mario 64 kind of style. I think this looks cool. This is how you do it, by the way. Don't give us the date. Let us anticipate the game, and all of a sudden, boom, it's out in 5 days. Come to Game Pass. I think this is one of the higher. If I were tier ranking the list of announcements, this is higher up in maybe the A's.
Yeah, this is actually a game I've been excited for since it was announced last summer at the Xbox Showcase. I believe I think this game's going to be good. I drafted it in at least one of my fantasy critic leagues, so like I think it's going to be like in the 80s. Just everything I've seen. Hey, everything I've seen about it, like there's no reason for me to doubt this game isn't going to be good. I know Super Meat Boy, the original one, and Forever or whatever it was called, very difficult. I actually went back and tried to play it maybe a month or so ago, and I got through a few levels, and then I was like, I can't do it. It's too difficult. My understanding is this one is still like you automatically run, kind of like the original one, so you don't control your your movement speed, which I think will be interesting because I don't know if I've ever played a 3D platformer kind of like that. But this is one I'm definitely excited for next week to play.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of wish Super Meat Boy would do the thing that like Mario does, which is both like it's very approachable in the early levels, then you have like your impossible levels, like kind of after you roll credits. But this is part of the identity of the series and the franchise is that it is challenging. So we'll see. I don't know. It's a Game Pass game, so like why not?
Yeah, I was gonna say the fact it's on Game Pass makes me feel like if I don't vibe with it or it's like too difficult, I could just bounce off it and go play something else. Yeah,
for sure.
Forever Ago, coming this fall to all platforms, Xbox Play Anywhere, and Game Pass. This is I think it's an Annapurna, if I remember, maybe Devolver, one of those indie developers who are putting this out. Looks to be what I describe as a sad game, where like an old man is going to all the spots where clearly he spent time with his loved one who is no longer there, from what I'm gathering from the trailer, and he's like reminiscing. So I think if you're probably looking to cry, maybe pick this one up.
I don't know, man. I'm okay. I'm all right. I know this game is for some people out there, and I don't mean to be flippant about it, but no, I've never, and I love the Life is Strange games. I really love them when I play them. They really resonate. They really connect, and I will stand beside them. But never once have I seen a Life is Strange to just weep in my chair. I've never been that. I don't understand like the getting excited for these games, but I think I'm a sick example.
I couldn't do it.
I just don't understand. Like we all know what we're here for, right? Like this is just such a depressing show. And you are choosing to tune in. I never really understand it, but you know, at the same time, I like Life is Strange games. I like pretty much all of them.
There was another show that my wife tried to get me to watch. I think it was called like A Million Little Things or something.
Oh,
and it starts with one of their friends like killing himself.
Yeah. Ugh.
And I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this show because it's already so depressing. Like. It's too much. It's not what I go to TV
it's
for.
Too much.
It's too much.
Hey, really? I caught that.
Ascend to Zero coming July 13th. This is Xbox Play Anywhere and Game Pass. I thought this one actually looked pretty fun.
This looked great.
Lots of flashing colors and slowing time mechanics. Simple art style, but I don't know. I think I could have a good time with this.
I'm totally with you, man. Yeah, almost Housemarque-esque back in the day, not new Housemarque, but maybe a little bit more Nex Machina kind of deal. I am totally here for it. Gameplay first, heck yes. Another game, I forgot to keep tabs on this, but what is this title? Ascend to Zero. It's just another video game title.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything to me.
You were in the negatives before?
The only thing I think of is like, do you start at like a negative level and then you have to work your way up and it's like zero the top of this like in game, but like for marketing doesn't really.
Yeah, this is the rebrand that getting out of debt needs. If anybody out there, if you're in debt, you must ascend to zero, and then you owe nobody. You owe nothing.
I'm gonna say that to people when they ask me like how much debt I have. Well, I'm ascending to zero.
I'm ascending to zero.
I'm ascending. Your Game of the Year 2025 Dispatch is coming to Xbox this summer.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the one for me.
I haven't played it, so I can't really comment.
You should. I would love for you to play it and get back to me. I think I'm the only person on the internet, me and Seth Sturgill, we're the only ones who I don't get it, man. I just don't understand what everybody's on about with this one. But it's coming to Xbox, so
yeah, I have no idea. I will play it eventually, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, can't wait.
Rebellion is making a new sci-fi horror shooter called Alien Deathstorm.
Yes, sir.
Coming 2027 to Xbox, Steam, PS5, everywhere else, Xbox Play Anywhere, and Game Pass. Can I just say, might be my favorite title from the show.
Yeah, same.
Not from what they showed, but I love the name Alien Deaths. Like that is a good video game title.
Yeah, this is definitely giving those 2010s via the Xbox 360, PS3. I think Ryan was saying this is the developer that made the Aliens and Colonial Marines or Alien versus Predator games. Yeah, I think Colonial Marines was Randy Pitchford, so never mind about that.
Rebellion is they do the Sniper Elite series, and they did Atom Fall last year.
Oh snap! That's right. That's right. This I will say, I bring up the Aliens versus Predator. Is there not a Predator ass
Yeah,
looking
his mouth is
monster in this
Predator. He
thing?
even has like the weird thing that
He's
can,
got the
yeah,
four jaw
yeah,
things, the mandible. Yeah.
yes, Predator. Like, I looks scary. Survive if you're into survival horror games. This
Yep.
could be a good AA title, especially if you're into the space horror.
Yes. I heard somebody talk about a 10 out of 10 or a, yeah, 10 out of 10, 7 out of 10 game. And I really like that idea. Like the best of the 7 out of 10s, and double A kind of brings that to light as
Yeah.
well a little bit. I think there's a lot of these games that we were talking about today that are really, really like the shiniest, the platinum 7 out of 10. A shiny 7 out of 10.
My Discord would say that's most of what I play.
But
7
there
out
you
of
go.
tens
So that
that
maybe
I
that's why this resonated so much
yeah,
with
that
you.
I treat as a 10 out of 10 game.
Hell yeah.
Frog Squad is
Pass,
coming to
keep going.
Xbox. Yeah. Friend slop frog game.
Oh.
Bluey's Happy Snaps is coming to everything, literally last gen, current gen. I don't know. Fall 2026, Xbox Game Pass, play anywhere. I describe this as Tome, but you're Bluey.
Yeah. Yeah, we want more Bluey games. Everybody should love Bluey. If you're play this after what was the other game called? Forever Ago. Play Forever Ago, be sad, and then be happy with Bluey. Yeah, it'll cheer you up.
Yeah, you can take pictures of the family on the swings or at the water park. Yeah.
Yeah, this is one where it was advertised on an Xbox stage, so to speak, and I'm like, well, you just showed me it's coming to Switch, so my kids will be playing this on Switch.
Great. That's what they want.
Why? It's okay. I've said my piece on this. I'm fine.
GSC Game World is back with a Stalker 2 expansion called Costs of Hope coming this summer. I never played Stalker 2. From what I hear, it's brutally difficult.
That's what I hear too.
probably
Yeah,
not-
the
not for
trailer
me.
looked really cool though. Like this looks like a game I should like, but that's all I keep hearing about it. I might have to just try it for myself because I do feel like you ever get that realization that like people are making up your mind for you, and it's like maybe I should just get my hands on this thing and play it.
Yeah, people. That's why I don't listen to. I said this. I forget what game I was talking about, but people are. It might have been Crimson Desert, where people were really like getting in their feels about the review scores. Like,
Yeah.
If you take out all the negative ones, it's got a good review. I'm like, well, why are you so desperate for validation for this? Just play it. If you like
Just
it,
play
that's
it.
all that matters. Like one of my favorite platformers, the last like 3 years, has a 52 on OpenCritic or whatever. Like, I don't care.
Which one?
It's called Clive and Wrench.
Oh, never
I
heard of
love it. I think it's good. You probably wouldn't like it. It's a collectathon 3D platformer.
I might. It depends on the day. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I like that
Yeah.
Spyro. You hear me talk a lot about that Spyro Reignited trilogy?
Yeah, I'm not a Spyro guy, unfortunately. Crash. I like Crash.
Oh, for God's sake, how are we friends? Sometimes I wonder.
Crash
how's
is so good.
Crash sucks.
Oh my God. He says to the man that has I literally have a poster of Crash Team Rumble right here.
I get it.
Not
I
even
get
a
it. The
good
game
one.
came
Not
out
even a
when you
good
didn't know any
one.
better. It's fine. I get it. Like it's hard to detach.
No. We get what is this? A samurai character action game called Musa Dirty Fate coming 2027 to Xbox, PC, PS5, Xbox Play Anywhere, Xbox Game Pass. This one was weird. It had like a soundtrack playing the whole time, so you couldn't like hear what the game sounds like. Like, what is the sword? Does it have impact? I might be fun, but I need a little more from this.
Yeah, it's like they forgot.
It just put some music over it.
Yeah, you know, sometimes when you're editing, you put like one layer over top of the other one, and it hides everything underneath. It's like they did that with the music. It's like, oh, nothing else is coming through. But it looked cool, man. Like this looked like it was just steeped in culture and artistry, and I think this looked really good. I guess I'm glad. How long do we have? More than a year to learn more. So I'll wait, I guess.
I don't mean to diminish the game, but the whole time I was watching the trailer, I did have this is Phantom Blade Zero at home kind of thing in my head where I was like, well, PlayStation got that one. We get this one.
Here we are with this. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. It looked cool, but yeah, we got to wait a while for it.
The Eternal Life of Goldman coming 2026. Never getting a release date to all platforms. Xbox Play Anywhere, Xbox Game Pass. I know I've heard Seth talk about this one.
This is the one.
Looks charming. Very. I don't know. This is I think it's a Metroidvania. Might be an action platformer, but it looks very cool.
Yep, looks very imaginative. That's all I'm kind of looking for these days now too. Like if it can just stand out in any sort of way, which this one absolutely did, I'm here for it, man. I was also thinking in the middle of it, like what makes these games really stand out? Some of these that are so formulaic, if this is Metroidvania, they all follow a similar kind of step by step. This is the ingredient to making it the game. And if they all do that, then how do any of them stand out? Certainly the protagonist who you play, an old man with a cane, that you upgrade the cane. Like I'm here for that, dude. I don't know why that got me so much. Maybe it's because in a few short years, I myself will be upgrading my own cane.
No.
I think maybe I might be, and I just hope that I can find some decent upgrades for my IRL cane.
No, you were talking about joining a soccer league like 3 weeks ago.
I know that might put me on in a cane, but also the cane, if you're taking public transit, you get those seats at the front, so it's not so bad.
Yeah, but sitting in the back is cool.
Oh, that's true. That's where the cool kids sit.
Cool
Yeah, it's more bumpy. Yeah.
Yeah, this one looks good.
Oh yeah, the game.
The next game. Listen, I might like the next trailer even less than Frog Squad somehow. Vaunted, coming to Xbox PC and other PC storefronts, coming to Game Pass. I just don't know what this game was. This is like that weird alien language. Is it a tactics game? Is it a tower defense game? Is it a shooter? There's cards involved. Everything was very confusing. I have no idea what was going on in this trailer.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear you say you were confused, because sometimes I feel like a real dumb, stupid idiot when I'm seeing something for the very first time, whether it's a game I'm playing or in this case, a trailer. Like, and I really want to be careful when I say this, because I always think back to the Wii U when it was launched and games media went to town on like, I'm confused, I don't know what this is, and it ruined the Wii U. I feel like before
I was confused. I didn't know it was a separate console. I didn't find out until
how it was obvious. But anyways, that's a whole other.
Until the Switch, I owned a Switch, and then I learned that the Wii U was a separate console.
Oh, you sweet boy. Oh my gosh. But in any case, I was confused by this game. I don't even know what to tell you. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't even know if I like it or not. I was pretty convinced this looked tactics, but everybody else, Ryan, I think, was on the stream saying, I don't think this is tactics, kind of turn-based kind of. I have no idea. So great job. Great trailer.
Yes. Hades 2. This might be the biggest announcement, coming to Xbox April 14th, also coming to PS5, Xbox Play Anywhere, and Xbox Game Pass. So that's a huge get for Game Pass. It might be the highest reviewed game of last year. It's up there for sure, but Hades 1, obviously massive. Hades 2, you can now play it. It's ending its exclusivity period.
And Hades 1 launched into Game Pass when it came to Xbox as well, I believe. So yeah, this would actually be disappointing for anybody who even remembers that. But if this didn't launch into Game Pass, that'd be a little bit sad. But yeah, this is one that everybody else has played and they all love it. Reviews are really high. I've got to get into it now. I will have, now I'll play on my PC. Dude, I'm playing so much more on my PC these days. I barely turn on
I don't even have
consoles.
my Xbox.
Yeah. Oh, you got rid of it?
Yeah, I got a new PC, and I was like, what's the point? And
there you go. Well, we better hold on. We better take care of our hardware, man. Yeah. We can't be buying anything new. Like, this is it. It's got to last us until 2030.
Facts, though. My wife would not let me get a new PC before.
We got to clean it out, man. You got to open it up. You got to clean out those fans.
I got a dust sprayer.
Yeah, we got to do it. We got to take care of it.
I love my PC.
Me too.
I haven't missed my Xbox because I still have the same. I just play my Xbox games.
Oh, there you go.
So that's pretty good. Artificial Detective, coming 2027 to Xbox, PC Cloud, PS5. I actually thought this was a pretty strong ending game. I thought it looked interesting. Like visually, he looks like a robot handsome Jack from Borderlands 2.
Yep. 100%.
But like the story seemed intriguing. Like, where'd all the humans go? Why is there only one human girl left? I thought the gameplay, if that is like what they're actually making, like a third person kind of shooter, had a Gears of War style with a jackhammer or something at the end. Like, I can get down with this. Show
Hell
me
yeah.
more.
Yeah, pet dog sidekick, really cool. A
Mm-hmm.
nano particle kind of enemy, very intriguing, dude. This Xbox Partner Showcase thingy 2026 gets bonus points for difficulty for doing the thing that is so rare and so hard, which is the last thing is something you've never heard about, not attached to any IP that you know about, totally entirely new, and it looks good, and
Mm-hmm.
you're not like left thinking like, oh, that's it. Like, that's remarkable because we as gamers, people who tune in to these live showcases as they're happening, we're signing up to be marketed to. We're very finicky when it comes to the one last thing. Do you remember the one last thing at the Game
I was
Awards?
just in my brain. I'm sitting here. It could have been High Guard.
Could have been. That's kind of what I'm saying, and it's really interesting that that's still within recent memory. The introduce you to something brand new as the last thing is really, really hard because a lot of times it's like, here's something you never thought we would be able to do, and here it is, and it's got like that
Mm-hmm.
moment. This wasn't that at all, but I'm hard pressed to find anybody who wasn't kind of wowed by this one, other than the fact that maybe it's a long ways away. But it looked cool, and I'm really excited because it's so hard to introduce a new IP these days.
Yeah, and this is a debut game for a new studio, if I remember correctly, if I what I read on Xbox Wire. I just think it's like the gameplay. I think we've seen kind of that before. It clearly had
That's fine.
inspirations. No, yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying, like the premise, the
Yes.
story, the
Yes.
world, like I'm like, oh wow, this is original. This is something I haven't seen 1,000 times. Like some weird robot detective. Like,
100%.
okay, sign me up. Like I'm interested in that. I would again, and I think I said this to I might have been on my Patreon Q&A. I think Marcus might ask me, but he was like, why do you prefer sometimes to play 7 out of 10s? I'm like, because they try new things.
They're
I would
original,
rather I
100%.
would rather have something original that doesn't hit a 9 out of 10 than something that's like I've seen this 1,000 times, like this world, like that's just how I feel about
I
games.
think you're onto something, man. And I do think that eventually, like, sort of like the rest of people are going to value that a little bit more. They're going to kind of catch up to you on that. Cause, yeah, like, especially because you play 1,000 games a year. So you've seen everything. And so when something
All of it.
stands out, it's kind of, yeah, like we want that. Even the way the trailers were made, I was kind of walking away from today's showcase going like, just can these games be presented in kind of like a new and interesting way? Like, don't just throw song remaster from the 80s or 90s and like the trailer sound effects pack. Like sometimes it does seem like very trite and by the
Hmm.
numbers. So trailers got to be interesting and capture my attention, and obviously more important than that, like the games themselves. So I'm a sucker for a good premise, good art style. Like it's not like you got to
Hmm.
do not like you have to reinvent the wheel, but like just something a little different. So this was
Yeah.
good. I liked it.
And that brought us to the end. They did their little sizzle reel and was like, here's all the games coming to Game Pass. But
Yeah.
overall,
No
good.
slide on the dates, which is obviously we know why.
I, I wish they would like I'm trying to take notes during it, and then I'm almost like, well, they'll wrap it at the end, and then they just show like the games. I was like, well, I don't have any of the information I was looking for now, so if I want it, I have to actually go look for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and well, because they want you to take away the good stuff. Like, look at all these games, a
Hmm.
bunch of these, and a lot of them are coming to Game Pass. But there's
Yep.
definitely, as we've been watching over the last maybe a year and a half, 2 years or so, just such a subdued kind of presentation to Game Pass, and
I
it's very curious to me. Maybe they want people to buy games again. I don't
I I,
know.
was- I think I've talked about this a few times where I don't think Game Pass is really their big push anymore.
Yeah,
I
like you can if you
I
want.
Yeah, I think they're plateaued like around that 34 million mark or whatever it was, like has really kind of proven to them like, okay, we need to shift strategies, and their current strategy from this showcase and from previous ones, Xbox Play Anywhere. Like I think last summer every game was Xbox Play Anywhere. I think every game here was Xbox Play Anywhere. They talked about Project Helix, like develop one SKU and it works on everything. So like
Right.
at that point, everything is automatically Xbox Play Anywhere. I think I talked about in a previous episode. So that's kind of where I'm leaning. Like they're very much leaning into that as their selling
Yeah.
point.
Well, because that leads you to buy the game. You buy one place and you play it anywhere, which is a very different strategy than monthly subscription. So, which I guess both can exist, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Some of us like the subscriptions, some of us don't, would rather just own it. So that's good.
All right. Well, that does it for our Xbox topic. We got a PlayStation and Nintendo topic, not nearly as in depth, but why don't we jump over to those? Sean, PlayStation has shut down another studio. This time, Dark Outlaw Games. A year after officially announcing the studio, PlayStation has confirmed they've shut down Dark Outlaw Games without ever releasing a game. The Jason Blundell-led studio was reportedly working on a single-player game. According to Jason himself, it was not live service, and the team had around 20 people. Did you remember this team existed?
Wasn't it like transitioned over from another team that they had like brought on Summer Game Fest at one point? What were those guys
Yes,
called?
this Deviation.
Deviation. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was a PlayStation funded project. Jason Blundell and I forget his co-founder. He wasn't involved in this one. It almost seemed like PlayStation like picked Jason out and like some team members was like, come over, form a studio here, make a game. And now that's not happening.
Oh man, I hate these stories. I just like what do you ever say about it? Like it sucks. We hope that they find themselves somewhere else. I kind of wish that was part of the messaging was like this studio is disbanded, but only to help the other studios do something. But I don't know, man. Like I don't know the numbers. I don't like 20 people is not a very big team.
No.
So I'm not sure like what kind of overhead they're saving by removing this.
Yeah, I know Sony in general, like the overall company, not PlayStation. They also closed down some like VFX, like studio that just won like an Oscar or something. So like, seems they're cost cutting mode right now across their entire brand. But I thought it was an interesting studio just because we had Blue Point a few weeks ago, right? Where PlayStation just seems to be closing studios. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like. I know Haven is one people have talked about with Fair Games, where that game was revealed 2-3 years ago or something, and we've seen nothing since then. So I think PlayStation's first party is in a really weird spot right now.
I agree. Well, and it's funny that you're going back to God of War. Like that's where PlayStation became PlayStation, I feel. Like certainly, PS1 and PS2, but like you spoke a lot about God of War being so cinematic and they really created like a brand for themselves when you were playing an SIE or whatever it was, SIC back then. You knew what you were going to get. And now PlayStation kind of finds themselves where Xbox has been for the last little while, which is like, you don't know, like there really isn't an identity for PlayStation exclusives in the way that there was before. And they're really just trying to, find that new audience and find that and make sure that they are not just resting on their laurels, which I get. And Xbox had done that as well with 3 franchises, Halo, Gears, and Forza. And that's not a recipe for success either. So maybe that's where I'll land on this one is really that it's too bad is a new studio could have brought a new IP. And I think when PlayStation was at its best is, PS3, PS4. We had the Uncharted series and The Last of Us introduced in the PS3. PS4, we had Horizon and just a ton of other stuff like God of War got reimagined in the PS4 era. Just a wonderful selection of first party stuff. And I haven't commented on PlayStation too much these days, but like it's really just too bad. The PS5 generation, obviously PS5 is outselling Xbox. This is not about that at all. But I think I'd be interested to hear anybody try to make the case that games coming out of PlayStation for the PS5 generation are anywhere near as interesting as the previous 2, 3, or 4 generations.
Yeah, I think what's coming out of PlayStation, because people always say, well, PS5 has no games. And I think we need a different phrase for that.
Agreed. That
in
doesn't make any sense.
In terms of what they're putting out games. They're not putting out new IP, I think is a better way to say it. Because what we've got for the most part this generation is just, hey, the sequel to games we got last generation, which for some people, that's all they want. They're completely okay with that. And then the new IP that we have got has been live service based or kind of not really appealed to the PlayStation audience, struggled to find its footing. So like it's in this weird spot where, as you said, like they don't really have their identity at the moment.
They're going to get it back though. I want to make sure that I save some face as well because
so?
people I know, well, dude, Saros looks incredible. And I think Wolverine also is going to be very good.
Mhm.
Now, Wolverine's maybe a sidestep from Spider-Man, but
Yeah, yeah,
again,
yeah.
Spider-Man was a new game in the PS4 generation as well. But I think Wolverine and Saros, they deserve kudos, man, because they
Mhm.
look like early game of the year contenders. They are two of my three most anticipated games for
Oh.
2026, alongside Forza Horizon 6, dude. Like, yeah, they look great. So, and that's PlayStation to me.
Mhm.
Saros and Wolverine, like that. When I think like what I want from PlayStation, it's games like that. I want Housemarque at their best, and I want Insomniac at their best. Like hell yes, bring me that. And so, shutting down Dark Outlaw is what could have been. I don't just want to go like shutting down studios equals bad. Like
Mhm.
obviously that's the case, but like what were they up to, man? Like were they? I don't know. Obviously not like a
Uh,
Killzone game, but like what if it was
no, I don't.
something like new and cool that we could have added to the list of cool IP in Sony PlayStation Land?
Yeah, I forget what maybe it was Deviation's game. One of the studios that PlayStation was funding. I don't know if it was one they owned and shut down or a second party deal. Their game got like leaked onto the internet a few weeks ago, I remember, and it was
Mm,
completely not what people thought. It was almost like a first person shooter or third person. I forget what it
oh,
was,
it
but
was exactly what I would have thought it would be. First
well, yeah,
person shooter.
it was a new IP though, so it was like it was not an existing thing. I wonder if we see, because Jason has come out and he was on some podcast, I know, they were writing articles, and that's how we know, like, oh yeah, the studio's closed, wasn't live service, was this size of a team, right? I would love to know, like, what was the game? Was it an existing IP? Was it some new
Yeah,
idea? Can they put out? Are they allowed to share anything about it? Sometimes that's
I know.
worse
I'd
because
love
then
to
you
hear that.
sometimes that's worse because then you see like you took this
And it's
from me,
awesome.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
I felt that way about what studio was it? Sanzaru, the team that made Sly Cooper 4, and then they got acquired by Meta to make like VR games.
Oh
They
yeah.
said that they like pitched a Jack and Daxter remake or whatever. And I was like, you took this from me. Like, I know PlayStation was never involved. Like, that's just what they wanted to do. But in my mind, I would have rather you just never tell me that information
That's
because
true. Yeah.
then it hurts me.
It's like StarCraft Ghosts. Just
Don't
don't. Yeah.
I had a pre-order on StarCraft Ghosts for
There you go.
years,
Yep.
and it never came out.
Dude, I remember. Anyway, that's a million years ago. But just waiting for Star. Do you remember like they redesigned StarCraft? Do you ever? I don't know how far back
No,
you.
I kept up.
Because it used to look like Warcraft.
StarCraft Ghosts might have been one of the first games I remember like getting told about and then like trying to like find as much information about
Same.
it as possible, like finding magazine like StarCraft Ghosts is in this one, like can you
Yep.
buy this for me? And then like going to GameStop, they're like, oh, we don't know how this come count. I'm like, that's our, it might have been EB Games or whatever at the time, but you
Yep.
know, I said like, here's my $5 deposit, when this comes out I'll be here, and that just never happened.
Ugh, it's too bad.
RIP. Shout out Nerd Chat and in the chat, and Luke Lore, Xbox Expansion Pass, hanging out with us.
Hello.
Good to see you, friends. We have one more topic for tonight, Sean. More in your realm, Nintendo, because Nintendo has.
I have a PlayStation, by the way.
You're not on a PlayStation show though.
That's
That's what I
true.
meant. You know,
I
like
know. I know.
you're on the Xbox Drive and the Nintendo Drive.
So
If
thus I'm not a
if you
full
want to
complete human
be
being.
on the PlayStation Drive, all right.
Well, they keep quitting, so you know.
Oh my god. Oh, shots. No,
It's not a shot. It's just what happened.
No, just making jokes. Captain Logan's here too. I guess that should come out of the lurking. Yeah, come out of the lurking, everyone. All right,
Oh,
let's talk about
everyone
Nintendo,
this year.
Sean, because Nintendo of America has announced that starting with the release of Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, first-party Nintendo releases will see a difference in pricing between digital and physical releases. Yoshi will cost $70 physical, while the digital version will be $10 cheaper at $60. I've been told that this was already a thing in other parts of the world. I don't know if that applies to Canada, but in the US here, physical is now going to be more expensive than digital. Maybe for Canada too. How are we feeling?
I imagine that is the case. I can't tell you that if I'm not really buying a whole lot physical these days. I think this makes a lot of sense, and it's honestly something that they don't really have to do. So this confuses me quite a lot. Like they don't have to make it cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
I also think just this whole idea that games that are new cost X dollars is weird. I just think that You know, back in the day, again, I'm just old man on the podcast today. Like, you open the old flyer for whatever it was going to be, GameStop, EB Games, whatever it's going to be. Games were all over the map, dude. Some games were $90, some games were
Mm-hmm.
$45, some games were 70. Like, they were all over the place. So just this standardized pricing, I think, is strange because games are going to sell different amounts. Games cost different amounts to make. There are different lengths of games. There's different value, all these different things. So that's just strange. Maybe that's out of the way. I don't know, like, why Nintendo is doing this. I guess it's good that digital stuff is staying the same. They're just trying to keep people out of, like, this actually seems more aggressive than maybe anybody is giving it credit for,
Mm-hmm.
which is making it more expensive for like retailers to sell their games, which
Mm-hmm.
just drives people to online, which Nintendo obviously owns and gets the entire stake of the sale. It's a very weird thing. I'm not offended by it because I don't go out of my way to buy a lot of physical games. Um, but now, having said that out loud, there are the odd times where I share games with my kids, and the physical games are good for that. But
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo has done a really good job. I don't know if you've used this feature, Kev, like to lend digital games, digital game cards to members of your family is awesome. I do it all the time. My kids come up to me like, "Can I borrow this game or that game?" And they get it for 2 weeks. It's games that I own, but I
Mm-hmm.
can very easily just let it be on their Switch lights, and I like that. So, if it was difficult to share digital games, I might be more upset about this that they're driving me towards digital, but they kind of already have a solution for it. So maybe people keep that in mind as you're bringing your thoughts to light on this.
I saw someone describe this as like the most interesting, boring story of the week
That's
because, like,
hilarious.
when you actually look at it, you're like, okay, like that makes sense. And I think I'm very much in line with that. Like, I've always thought, why does digital cost the same as physical when you have to produce the disc, produce the case, like ship it? Digital should be cheaper. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, this is great as a primarily digital gamer. I will say, however, I do like physical Switch games because I tend to resell them.
Yeah,
Now, I don't have a problem because from what Nintendo says, physical isn't getting more expensive. Digital is just going to be cheaper. I don't know how much I buy that because
I don't buy it.
we don't know the prices of yet to be released
Yeah, I
game.
don't
Like,
know.
they could, like, Fire Emblem comes out, right, and they're like, oh, physical is 70, digital 60, or they could be like, physical's 80 now
Yeah.
and digital is 70, and they're like, well, that's the price was always going to be 70, right? Physical just went up. So, like, remains to be seen how they actually spin this. But I'm not dissuaded from buying physical because my strategy with Switch has always been I buy them, I play them, and then I resell them. So most of the time I get back a lot of my money because Switch games hold their value extremely
Big
well. Like,
time.
I
Yeah.
think Donkey Kong Bonanza, when I sold it, was like I got $50. So, like, I played it for 20 at the end of the day. Like,
You
it's
sold it? How dare you?
I played it for like 70 hours.
Oh man. Yeah, you probably got your money's worth.
Yeah, I collected 900 bananas or something.
You know what I dislike that we just sort of accept, and I think we get angry at a lot of things, us gamers on the internet. The thing that we should be getting mad about, and it happens all the time, I think Netflix is increasing its prices. I think we just saw as well. We used to demand more when things went up in price. And
Mhm.
things are just going up in price and we don't get anything more out of it. So when it comes to physical games, yeah, they're $10 more, but they come with like this amazing instruction booklet or some
I
sort of
wish.
art card or something like that would be great. That I can get on board with. If there's a riot train somewhere, I would hop on board on that one. But
Mhm.
generally speaking, we've just been beaten so much over the last little couple of years here with inflation and everything. Like, it would be nice if they soften the blow. They just being anybody who's increasing any prices. If you'd give us a little more, to offset the increase in price, make us feel a little better for paying more.
Yeah, I would appreciate some manuals. I miss manuals in
I miss
physical
manuals
games.
too.
Like,
Yes.
I don't need to know the controls. I just want to look at the nice artwork that you, like, flip through, you know?
Yeah, man. Even if
Uh,
it's just credits, even if you put like the credits of who made the game and it's accompanied by a bunch of art, that would be cool as well.
yeah. So I right now, unless they're like, if they're 80, I'm probably gonna go digital. I will say that, like, that's a bit too much. Or maybe I'll wait for a sale that never happens on Nintendo games, except
Yeah.
like once a year, right?
I don't think I have a blanket rule, honestly. I think it's a case by
It's game
case
by
with every
game.
single game.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, I had something else to say. Oh, I've seen some discourse that this is related to game key cards potentially. That Nintendo doesn't want to, like, they want to limit people buying physical because they don't want to have to like put out the money to get the more expensive cart that holds the data. Actually, um, I'm personally not offended by game key cards. I never have understood the backlash, but I'm not primarily a physical gamer, so.
Well, that's just it. If you were, you would be buying physical because the game is on there no matter what. Like there's this, I think there's like this, I think it's maybe misguided, this idea that if the game is on the cartridge or the disc or whatever, that you'll be able to play it forever in the same way that NES
Mm,
cartridges and Super Nintendo cartridges work. Like though that all makes sense for consoles that were pre-internet, that like continue to work as they had forever and ever and ever. You've got these consoles now that rely on the internet for updates and security and patches and all these things, and also many of them with like spinning discs as well that will fail. Like the hardware will fail on a lot of those things. We're outside of the spinning disc now, but we're still in the internet age. So I just don't know if it's true that these games that are on a disc, if they'll work forever and ever. Amen. I don't know, but maybe I'm off base there.
yeah, I know there's something, it's like disc degradation or something, like they eventually like start rotting.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So everything has an end date. Eventually it's all going to be digital anyway. I will say
Eventually, we're
that.
all going to be gone anyway, too.
Yeah,
So.
eventually this whole podcast is pointless. We're all going to turn to
Yep. The,
dust.
the sun will expand and engulf Mercury, Venus, and probably Earth as it becomes a red giant or a red dwarf or something like that. You know,
Mhm.
have you heard about this, Kev? You know what
I-
the sun is gonna do?
Listen, you mentioned the sun, and I just had flashbacks of sitting in the theater for Project Hail Mary this past week.
Pretty good.
That was so good. I absolutely loved it.
Yep.
I went in not know. I think I put this on Blue Sky. I was like, I had no idea what this movie was about.
Good.
My wife was like, "You want to go see this? It's getting really good reviews." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Because the movie we were gonna go to before that was like some crappy romance movie that had horrible reviews.
Oh,
I was like, so, yeah, I was like, it sounds way better.
Yep.
So we went in, and I was like, all right, Ryan Gosling, space, and then I was like, oh my god, this movie's so good.
Yeah, man. Another
whole time.
Canadian Ryan. You're welcome.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out Ryan. You guys got a lot of Ryans.
Shout out Canadian Ryans.
Ryan Gosling, Ryan Reynolds is Canadian.
Ryan Reynolds.
Right?
Yeah. Ryan Turford.
Turford. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for the show tonight. Sean, do you want to let everyone know where they can find you, my friend? Thank you so much for coming on and saving me.
Oh no, thank you for. I think you saved me. You fixed me a little bit. I feel great. This has been nice to hang out with you. Yeah, people can check me out on the Xbox Drive and the Nintendo Drive and everything that we do over at Carpool Gaming. Go to carpoolgaming.com, and I stream in the mornings. I don't know if people know that, but twitch.tv/carpoolgaming live. I'm now playing BioShock Infinite for the next maybe week or so, and then who knows? I'm excited for Screamer, which is coming. I think it already came out on Xbox, and
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to maybe jumping into that one. So yeah, we'll play a bunch of stuff over there. But yeah, people can check out the podcast over at carpoolgaming.com.
Yes, everyone, please go do that if you have not for some reason. Until next week, you can find me at the Muffin Mon everywhere. It's a 1-7I, 0-7A. Follow us at Save the Game Media over on Blue Sky to stay up to date with all of our latest content. Until next week, where I'll have a returning special guest.
It's me.
Yeah, he wasn't kidding. He's sticking
Told
around.
you, I'm back. I'm here